Hi everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be sharing with us a detailed step-by-step guide on how to draft and sew this beautiful jacket. As always, it's your girl Uwa Apparel. Kindly hit the subscribe button and let's get started. So for this would require 1.5 yard of Ankara print fabric, okay? And so first I'm going to be drafting the pattern on my brown pattern paper. So I have my pattern paper in a fold like so, and the first measurement I'm taking here is 5 inches. So I'm going to be ruling a straight line all the way from the top to the bottom. So ensure to give that allowance or space first. So from that line we're going to be taking every other measurement. So that space is going to serve for the portion that would be for the sort of lapel, even though this doesn't have a lapel. You see that wrapping portion? That's what we're going to be using that for. So at the very top, I went ahead to take my starting line, which is the basis for every other measurement. And for my neck width, I'm going with 3 inches there. And then I also went ahead to take my shoulder to shoulder measurement of 8 inches. I made a point there. So from my starting line to my bust line is 11 inches. Next to that is my waist measurement of 16.5 inches. And then the full length of this top is 25 inches. So this is me ruling a straight line across the points which I just indicated. So also on my bust line, I went up by 2 inches. So that line I'm taking now will serve for our chest line measurements. Afterwards, I also went ahead to label all the lines like so. So on my starting line around the shoulder to shoulder point there, you could see I took my 1 inch of shoulder slope, and from that shoulder slope I drew a straight line all the way to the chest point. So on my chest line, I took my 10 inches measurement, which is my bust round, and I added extra 1.5 inch allowance to it on the side. And then also, I'm going to be taking my waist measurement of 8 inches as well. I'll make a point there. I also added extra 1.5 inch allowance to it. You could take this body's measurement after taking every other measurement, but I decided to take it first. So on the finishing line, which is my hip line, I took a measurement of 10 inches. I also added extra 1.5 inch allowance to it. And using my curve rule now, I'm connecting the points from the chest line to the waist point and also to the hip line. All right. So on my chest line, you see me taking my nipple to nipple measurement of 4 inches. This I repeated on my waistline and also on my hip line. So the measurement is 4 inches. I'll be using my straight rule now to connect all the points together. So what I'm going to be doing now is going down by 1 inch from my chest point. So I make a notch there on my dart area. And so on the waistline, I also took half an inch measurement on both sides of my dart. Okay, so using my straight rule now, I am connecting it all the way from the hip line to the waist point there. I'm also going to be doing the same to that 1 inch point which I made below the chest line. Okay, so this is the dart which has been taken now. Okay, so the next measurement I'm going to be taking would be dividing my shoulder slope into 2. All right, you can see it's 5 inches there, so into 2 will give me 2.5. So I made a point at the mid area there, and from that point I'm going to be connecting it back to the chest line using my straight rule. So to further shaping my jacket, I would need to also take half an inch dart around the side like so. So I'm taking that dart on my bust line. Please take note, not on my chest line, on my bust line. And I connected it back into the nipple to nipple area there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing now is drafting that folding portion at the front. Please take note. You can see that I made a mistake by drafting a line on my waistline. This particular wrapping or folding, it is not on the waistline, it's actually on the bust line. So I'm extending the bust line now by 4 inches, as you can see. And then from that point, I connected it back to the neckline area there. So it is a sort of a V-neck line, even though it's a wrap jacket. So from that point also, I took it all the way down to the area around the dart portion. So on the side from the hip line, I went up by 3 inches initially. I also took an extra half an inch, making it 3.5 inches like so. And using my straight rule now, I'm going to be connecting it back to that portion there. Okay, so this is basically it for the drafting of the top, or rather the front of our jacket. So I went ahead to cut it out. Mind you, I actually forgot to draft the armhole area. So please take note of what I'm going to be doing now. This jacket is actually one that has a continuous sleeve pattern. So what I simply did was to extend my shoulder slope there by 2 inches. So look at what I'm going to be doing now. So I'll be extending my shoulder slope there by 2 inches like so. So I'll make a point there, and then using my curve rule, or you could use your straight portion depending on what you like, I connected it back into the shoulder slope or blended it back. And then using my curve rule now, I'm drafting my armhole area like so. So it's actually having a continuous sleeve pattern. And with this, we have successfully drafted out the front pattern for the making of our wrap jacket, our simple wrap jacket. So I went for that to trim out the portion which I would need, and after I'm done, I'll be setting this aside to draft the pattern for the back of our wrap jacket. So this is what it is looking like, and this will be using to cut on our actual fabric. So we'll go ahead now to draft the pattern for the back. So the for the back pattern, we'll be taking our general measurement, which is the same with that of the front. You can see I've drafted all my lines out, so it's the same line taken, but take note that I did not give that 5 inches of space before I started taking my lines. So that's the difference between the back and the front. Okay, so I'll go ahead now to also take my shoulder slope like I did to the front. So the neck pattern for the back will be 3 inches of width into 1.5 inch of depth. So that's the point I just made now. And using my curve rule, I'm connecting it together like so. So on my chest line, I took my bust round of 10 inches and I also added extra 1.5 inch allowance to it. So for the sleeve pattern, it is similar with that of the front. I extended it by 2 inches, and then using my curve rule now, I simply drafted the same pattern with that of the front. So on my waist point, I took a measurement of 8 inches and I added extra 1.5 inch allowance to it. And then on my finishing line, which is my hip line, I took a measurement of 10 inches. I also added extra 1.5 inch allowance to it. And using my curve rule now, I simply went ahead to connect the points from my chest line to my hip. So on my chest line, I'll be taking my nipple to nipple measurement of 4 inches. So I made a point there. And then also on my waistline, I repeated the same, and also on my hip line as well. And using my straight rule, I'll be connecting all the points together like so. So the next measurement I took is 1/2 inch on both sides of my dart, and this is me using my straight rule now to connect it all the way to the chest point there, and also from the waist area there all the way to the hip point as well. So before taking our dart, we're supposed to take a particular measurement, which is what I'm doing right now. Remember that we went up by 3.5 inches on the side of our hip line. So that's the measurement I just took now, and I wrote a straight line all the way across it like so. So this is me readjusting my dart area now. I was supposed to take that measurement. So we're not going to be having the same length of the bodies for the front. Okay, so the back went up by 3.5 inches, which the front did only on the side, but the wrapping area was longer. You're going to understand as we proceed further. So with this, we are done drafting the pattern for the back of our top. So I'll go ahead now to cut this out, okay? So ensure you're very careful while cutting so you do not trim out the portion that you would require. I also took my 1/2 inch dart on the side, which is what I'm cutting out right now, and this is what it should look like, okay? So this is me now cutting my fabric, cutting my pattern on my fabric. So I also took 1/2 inch allowance on all sides of my fabric, as you can see. Okay, so I'm cutting out the fabric for both the front and the back using my pattern paper like so. So this is what we have. So this is what the front pattern or front fabric is like. I also cut out the lining piece for it as well. So this is what the back should look like, okay? So we have the center back and the side back. The center back is in a fold. Please take notes. It's in a fold. So as I'm opening my fabric up, you're going to see what it is looking like. So we're going to be joining our fabric together. This is the center back, as you can see, and we have two sides of fabric like so. So I'm going to be holding them together using my pins, and then I'll go over to the sewing machine to run my stitches. Please ensure to join your fabric together from the shoulder area all the way to the bottom. It is always better to join from the shoulder area instead of the border at the bottom. So I'm done holding it in place now. I'll go ahead to run my stitches on it by 1/2 inch. So I also repeated the same process for the lining as well. Okay, so for the front pattern, I have the center front and the side front. So we have two separate pieces for both sides of the front. So I repeated the same process, holding both fabric together using my pins. So I'm going to do this and also repeat the same process for the remaining main fabric and also for the lining piece. So when I'm done, I'll come show you guys what it is looking like. So this is what the back fabric and the lining piece is like after I was done. I also went ahead to iron flat the seam portion there, as you can see. So I have also done the same for the front fabric, okay? So remember that one portion of the front fabric is shorter around the border area. So that's the adjustment we're going to be making right now. So I went up by 3 inches like so. You could do 4 depending on what you want. And I connected that point to the side there using my straight rule, as you can see. So this is me placing my lining piece on it as well. So I would cut the exact same measurement as the main fabric. So I would go ahead now to remark the lining piece, and then using my straight rule, I'm also drafting a straight line all the way to the side like so. So I went ahead to cut that out. So we've been able to create that unique design where, the folding portion or the wrapping portion there, we have one side longer than the other. So when we are done, it should be looking like what I just showed us. So the next thing I did was to go ahead to join the back and the front fabric on the shoulder area there. I also repeated the same thing for the lining piece as well. So this is what it should look like after stitching. I also ironed it flat. So you can see me placing the lining on top of the main fabric, the right sides facing each other. So please take note of that. So I'm going to be stitching all the way around the portion you're seeing me indicating with my finger like so. So I was supposed to hold this in place using my pins, but I felt it would be a waste of time. That's why I didn't bother to hold it in place. So it is advisable to always hold it in place in case the lining piece or the main fabric is longer than each other. When you hold it in place, you will be able to see it rightly, and then you can actually make necessary adjustments by trimming out the excesses. Okay, so this is what we have. After I was done stitching, I also went ahead to notch around the armhole area there, which is what I'm showing to you now. Okay, I also notched the neck area like so. So the next thing which I'm doing now is opening a portion on the lining piece, as this will enable me flip it over to the right side. So I'm simply flipping it over to the right side now. It should look like this, and I'll go ahead to iron this flat when I'm done. So I've ironed it now, and this is what it is looking like. So you can see the portion there where it was opened. I'll be using my needle and thread to close that portion there. So this is what we have. It's looking very neat. So I'll be flipping it over to the wrong side now, the back side or the inside, so as to be able to stitch it on the side. So to do that, ensure to retake your measurement again. Anytime you are to join any fabric on the side, always retake your measurements, okay? So I took my measurements, and then it enabled me to know how much of seam allowance I was going to leave. So using my ruler now, I'm simply connecting the points which I had made, and afterwards I'll go ahead to the sewing machine to stitch on both sides. So this is what our continuous sleeve wrapping jacket is looking like. I hope today's video was detailed enough. So the last and final thing which I did was to position or place my button in the portion where I would require them. These buttons were not actually big enough, and so I didn't bother to sew them on it. I'll get bigger buttons for them. So guys, we have come to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If at this point you haven't subscribed, kindly hit on the subscribe button, give your girl a thumbs up, and I will be seeing you on the next one.